Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Probably not who you expected here. We did have the plan for Purge and Cap to be bringing you guys some coverage here for the WePlay Reshuffle Madness, but it seems like he's getting some beauty rest. So I'm going to be hopping in at least for one game. We've got Purge here, who's doing an amazing job solo casting for game number one, and we'll be hopping into game two of Alliance versus Spirit. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Game one was definitely fun to watch. Really good combos. Even watching some of the replays just now, just really impressive how many ways that they made kills happen. I think that's one of the things that I appreciate most about pro players is like they've encountered so many different ganks in their lifetime that they're like, oh yeah, we'll do the cyclone into diffuser blade ice blast from long range, and that just makes a kill happen. You know, like things, the ways that they can pair all these things together while being on the same page so rapidly is just really impressive, in my opinion. So yeah, just really fun to see Alliance kind of roll over them like that. And I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a tiny hater right now. I don't know why, but
Hero seems good, man.
he's also I don't know. I had less fun playing him. I missed the movement speed, I guess. Like
Sure.
I'm okay with him not having agility, I guess, but he's he's being nerfed a lot because of good reason. Because the tree grab is a very good ability. And it's it's I don't know. I'm ready for a patch. I think is probably my biggest feeling at the moment. Definitely ready for that.
Definitely. I mean, we're still, like you said, seeing a lot of the picks that we saw from TI, that a lot of the strategies are still working there, not a lot of variance. And just getting into the draft itself, we do have a lot of the picks that you expect to see. Wisp and Wyvern banned out by Alliance, as well Brood, Chen, and Weaver, just squishing the bug there for Spirit. So no Brood this time. What do you think?
I think it was absolutely a huge hero for them. It was super clear by like the 10-minute mark how Brood was just basically just jumping between the ancients, the medium camp, and the enemy mid lane. Like the tower was still up, I believe, but he's just constantly cutting creeps, forcing heroes to rotate over, to throw spells at him, to just be there, to try to kill spider. I don't know why they tried so hard to kill spiders, because shit's got 50% magic resistance. It's not going to work. Like Necro is not a very good Brood solution, at least laning stage wise. That much is clear. But it just made so much space on the map that Spirit basically didn't even get close to trying to play the game that they wanted to play. It didn't really feel like, outside of a couple lassos, that there was much going on offensively from Spirit. So I think the Brood was certainly the most obvious screaming, like, hey, this is a problem hero that we saw. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. Although ban-wise, I'm not quite sure what the difference is. I do remember a Wraith King ban. Don't remember. We saw a lot of heroes missing. I thought the match, but we will see a treat. Banned in 5th phase, I believe, last game, something like that. On the Spirit side, which is, I don't know if that's a typical FNG hero, but my first initial impression was yes. But I can't. I might be just be thinking Goblack. I think they don't remember if they used to be on the same team or not.
I think they have played together in the past for sure, but that definitely is like the Goblack draft. Like every draft that he could, it seemed like that was the kind of heroes that he wanted to pick up. But Alliance kind of just keep on going with what works for them. The Mirana obviously was pretty impactful in the previous game. A lot of mobility, a lot of good potential magic, like good mid-game damage. Isn't really crazy scalable, but is always going to be there for the fights that you need her.
Yeah, and she still survived all in the laning stage. I mean, there was a couple really hairy moments, but between Taiga, no, I'm sorry, not Taiga, it was Insania, the AA and the Mirana, they were able to actually spread out the bat damage just enough. Probably played against a lot of bat riders, and man, they played it expert.
5 seconds remaining.
But still, at the same vein, like decent damage, but just Arrow was, the coordination was just so good. It genuinely made Arrow look like a broken ability. It's like, oh, set up into Arrow, boom, that guarantees another kill. Then they guarantee another kill, they guarantee another kill. The Arrow setups they did were just incredible all game. And even the solo arrows he threw were still pretty useful. So I could absolutely see why it's the staple pick in their first phase. That wins the lane, you got a range core, and boom, Arrow setups for early, mid, late game. The Phoenix is not going to be able to combo nearly as easily with it, but Phoenix has been getting quite popular lately, just because of strong team fight. Lots of nerfs to Fire Spirit talents, like the 15 one, I believe. But either way, Phoenix has been just kind of popular everywhere, all over the place. And this game, it looks really good too. Tree Tiny. 2 melee heroes, 2 heroes at very low attack speed. Eggs are going to be very popular, at least for now.
Definitely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Phoenix is pretty much exclusively running like the 4 position still. There's no harkening back to the days of the offlane Phoenix or anything along those lines.
I think it. I mean, my main reference point is pubs, so it's obviously not exactly correct. But I generally yes, it's generally a farm heavy 4 position. But I wouldn't put past teams to potentially do some kind of a 3, but it's less likely because laning stage-wise, you know, less survivability. But it does feel okay right now. Like both Dive and Fire Spirits have pretty good damage level 1. Well, not Dive really, but Phoenix is definitely not a bad laning hero like he used to be even like 6 months ago.
Sure. We'll see if there's some answers as far as like controlling the Phoenix a little bit. There's heroes like Silencer and Disruptor that can really mess with him in terms of just mitigating the effectiveness abilities. But the one thing they really have to play around right now is Alliance's just heavy control. I mean, you've got Chaos Bolt, you've got Arrow, long duration disables, not really easy ways to get around it. This is going to become a problem for them very quickly, I think.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting parts is that they've gone from Mirana, who's their safe lane hero, to instantly picking a Chaos Knight in the first phase of the second round, which isn't the weirdest thing ever because... All right, we're back.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about a brief technical issue here, but it did happen to sync up with a little bit of issues on Alliances and as well Koikova reconnecting back into the game. And now we are getting into it here just before the starting horn of Alliance versus Spirit, game number 2. Myself, Blaze, alongside Purge. Let's get into it, man.
So we got some weird stuff going on, kind of. CK is our dual offlane core, which is kind of weird. Not going to be their safe lane farmer. They're still going to put the Miranda down there with the Tusk, and their mid lane is going to be an Arc Warden, which I've heard is a very strong hero at the moment. It's interesting to see him get picked this game. Dark Willow Tiny is the offlane. This game it's a offlane Tiny, not a support. Mid Lina and a safe lane Terrorblade and Tree. Terrorblade apparently the high win rate carry at the moment. Very strong as a hero. Just high win rates, super high armor. Scales very well, can lane okay. And yeah, it gives you really good late game as well. Against a CK, I'm not really sure. I feel like TB's probably really good there. Spamming Reflection against the CK sounds kind of scary for CK to me, but we'll see how everything matches up. Lena's a decent solution against CK at least, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that these lanes should shape up very interestingly. Bottom seems to be where a lot of the action is probably going to be, just in the sense that like Tiny is going to be and Dark Willow are very involved at level 1 and are very early on. So I could see like heavy exchanges going there, but a big question mark is really how much Insania is going to accomplish on the top lane as well.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. I mean, most of it is probably just going to focus on trying to limit farm. Actually, they're just going to do damage. I mean, each Fire Spirit is like 80 damage now. Yes, I think. Yeah, 80 damage per tick. So, you know, a little bit of a stun there. And yeah, Terrorblade's low at already. Yeah, and he's just actually spending all his mana. They might get Skitter. He's so close. Oh, one more right click. Salve comes out, and that's going to buy him just enough health. Very costly, though, how much health they just lost.
Yep. So just a lot of exchanges back and forth. No first blood yet. Bottom lane still going down. Skitter, very close. Get the salve will bring him just up to the HP that he needs.
Yes.
Feeling a lot better now. But
so that. Oh man, the audio is disorienting.
Yeah. So we do have currently in-game audio. Hopefully we can get that fixed over to the production feed. But yeah, that's gonna be first blood. Boxy spilling it for FNG.
Just stop moving there. I feel like he maybe could have lived. I'm not sure. He's a pretty fast hero. I mean, so's Terrorblade. Both comparable movement speed, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like he maybe could have lived. I'm not sure. But
it's definitely a tough spot. A lot of heavy exchanges, but. You know, now it's even Steven as far as the kills go, and I think a lot of attention is going to be drawn to mid lane as these mids are pretty much going to be the ones that have the most experience to work with here.
Yeah, I mean, at the same vein, though, they're mostly going to trade. I don't super expect Quakefoot to die here. I feel like there's a higher chance that they're able to get a kill using Arc Warden here. Yeah, here comes the gank. Aishar's not lasting super long, although Quakefoot's taking a lot of damage here. Nine's trying to secure the kill here. He's going to have to commit for it himself, and the Spirit is going to come out just in time, and that will guarantee the kill here. So nice pickup there by Quakefoot. Great rotation from Tusk, and very easy to see why the hero is so strong once again. CK on the top lane does get picked off, though.
Yeah, having a tough time here. He's only sitting at level 2 on the top lane and just struggling to really get momentum. Once you get the later levels on Chaos Knight up to like level 5, you really have some fight potential, but as it stands right now, it's just it's a brawl in the top lane, and just he doesn't seem to be able to handle it.
I wouldn't even say that CK at 5 is that strong either. Like CK is kind of it feels very weird to me personally right now because it's like he's got a stun, but his agility is so weak that his attack speed is always really rough. He has to he rushes armlet to get some regen in, but in the same vein, it's like it costs so much mana just to fight the enemy team. So I'm not always the biggest fan of him. I do recognize he has a good A pretty good win rate, though. 3-minute here. Mickey taking a lot of damage. Going to look for an arrow. Most likely. Oh, walks right into the Bramble Maze. That guy is 100% getting flamed by his team. Undoubtedly. That was a pretty sick kill by Dark Willow. Again, constantly fighting top. And this is one of the nice things, actually, about CK dying in these moments. He's dying, but then he gets full mana again, which is a lot better than him being like, well, I need to buy a bottle or a soul ring or buy all these mangoes. Instead, he just says, I'm going to fight constantly. And with the Phoenix to back him up, it's working out okay.
Yep, a little bit of a confusing laning stage here, but we do see Biver trying to TP out. Is going to be able to get the Brambles off, but one more hit from the Tusk will do it. Actually, Mike picks it up as just the last hit comes through.
Oh, here's that instant replay of Mickey.
Oh,
once again. All right,
just get the slow motion
He's
walk
like, all right,
right
I'm
into the
arrow,
Brambles.
I'm dead. I'm just completely dead. It's beautiful. It's like a blue whirling death we just ate.
You know, the spacing's there. He's not going to get auto-attacked, but just doesn't watch his feet.
Yes, and the Brambles sometimes I do find myself walking in them a little bit more than I expect most of the time. It just happens sometimes, you know. Orb of Venom is the pickup here for Chaos Knight. He's going to go for another trade, but man, he's taking a lot of damage. But he is also throwing a lot towards the TB as well. The spirits are making such a big difference because he can't even turn and fight, and that's what kind of changes this lane in such a big way, which is so weird. They had both of these heroes picked way before the TB too, and they're just like, yo, we're just going to lane the Phoenix and the CK versus the TB. We're going to stun him. We're going to put Fire Spirits on him for up to 16 seconds while we both right-click. And there's no way that he can turn and respond. It's actually such a good solution against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, just pull him in. You get the negative armor. You get that Orb of Venom slow. He just really can't get out of your grasp, even in Metamorphosis. So, I mean, how often do you see a Terrorblade in Metamorphosis unable to take like a direct fight? But
yeah, I mean, this is the reason why. The attack speed reduction is huge from Phoenix in this case. CK's even gone for 2 points in his Chaos Bolt here. Terrible scaling ability. You get 0.5 seconds of stun per level, and you get 25 damage. That's it. It scales real bad, but that stun duration is going to change their laning stage here, and that's the whole purpose. He just throws stuns, and they drop Fire Spirits, and they go on the TB, and there's not that much he can do about it. It's actually so overwhelming so far.
Yeah. Nice pickup on Lina in the mid lane, though. They are able to 2-on-1 that situation and be able to bring her down. That's a lot of experience going the way of Alliance. And over at top lane, we are seeing the Terrorblade just getting wrecked, like once again.
Eventually, the Observer does catch it, thank God. Just barely snagging that one in the moment. FNG was rotating, though. And how many deaths is that now on the TB? It's got to be like 3 or something, right? Yeah, 1, 3, and 1 on the Terrorblade. Really tough early. In fact, he's going to have to walk back to lane here, which is so tough for him. Another Lina kill here. Just so much space across the map for Alliance. With that said, the gold advantage is pretty much even here. Less than 1k advantage here for Alliance. So it's not like it's translating to a huge amount, but it absolutely will if this continues.
Yeah, I think the experience is going to tell a much different story, in just the sense that, like, obviously this Lina is supposed to be like the highest level hero. Doesn't even have Laguna Blade here. 6 minutes into the game, just extremely disadvantaged. The Arc Warden Korkova nearly hitting level 7, rapidly approaching his Hand of Midas. It just feels like Alliance have this laning stage on lock.
And he's not even had to play safe. Like I've seen Arc Wardens go boots first into Aquila, then consider Midas. He's buying this pre boots and everything. Nice pickup there by Hestajo. Rotten picks up the hard carry for 4. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong screen. My bad. Spoiler, he's dead. My bad.
The homing tree comes into play here. You leap and you leap, you run, but the tree will always catch you.
And that's why you pay to research technology. It's very useful. So Phoenix picking up level 5 already. He's actually got so many levels from all these kills. It's actually really impressive how much of a difference it makes.
Yep. So at this point, we are seeing just a good last hitting coming in from Team Spirit. They do have the CS lead, but just these overall kills and this overall experience is going to snowball against them very quickly, as Alliance are rapidly approaching towards their ultimates for across the board, and just in general have a lot more of a skill advantage. They can take these fights where on their terms, and it looks like once again Terrorblade is under some heavy pressure.
Man, it's just 140 mana and a little bit of health from the Phoenix, and they can just that's all of Terrorblade's health. Like it is literally the counter to him. It's like he's got so much armor. He's got 17 armor right now. It doesn't matter. He's just taking magic damage. Yeah, basically.
And against the Phoenix, the living armor is really not doing too much for him anyways. The salve even gets canceled here by the Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only reason a lot of cases, trees don't even get that much living armor in the laning stage. It's almost always just like Nature's Guys and Leech It, because it gives you such good traits. Now ganking the safe lane here. That was just a rotate here by Quakefa's Spirit Dude, whatever it's called, possibly used his ulti, teleported at bottom to maybe gank. Not the most common gank this early, coming from an Arc Warden, but really effective in this case to guarantee the tiny kill. Nice pickup, level 8 now for Koikva, so he's on a super good trajectory at this phase. Still hasn't quite finished his Midas, but he's sitting 2-0-2. He's got like 40 last hits here at 8 minutes. He's doing great.
Definitely. And guys, if you are seeing some interesting little promo codes there on your stream, that is something that the WePlay guys are offering as a promotion for the Reshuffle Madness. And basically, you have the chance to win some Secret Shop gifts or a Predator Series laptop if you go to weplay.tv/codes and type in that code. So they'll basically raffle it off based on the people that type in that code. We'll have a bunch of them throughout the broadcast here today.
Wow, thanks, Blaze. FNG maybe trying to slow things down top, but he's ended up getting ganked here by the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight 3 points in his stun, has committed his ultimate here. Kind of hard for him to get the kill with just Power Treads, but it's going to work out in the long run here. Power Treads is basically the item you need on Chaos Knight. It's so important because he's had to cut so many trees to chase this guy down here. But Power Treads, attack speed, and more mana pool basically is really everything that Chaos Knight needs in the lane stage. And with this 3-2-0 build, he's got a decent amount of damage. Even with Phantasm, he doubles his damage. By the way, the Treant Protector actually 0, 2, and 3. No points in Nature's guys. LC would have survived there. So just trying to do his best to keep his to stabilize his lanes, try to keep his Terrorblade alive.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it was shown off camera, but basically Insania has gotten 5 kills this game using Supernova. Already just racking it up. This support play in the early game is quite substantial.
That's such a good play. He did end up dying for it. Dark Willow, very low BAT. Arrow comes in, does land on the Lina though. Diving, she's taking a lot of damage here. Starfall as well. It's going to hit on the Treant primarily though, but it looks like he's been able to get him. Nope, great stun in the moment. Is Galam to run away? Nope, uphill attack, and that guarantees it. Now chasing after FNG, very likely to die to magic damage and very possibly a tiny follow-up here. Got to be a little careful. He's got good burst damage, but punches him right in the face, and that's going to clean up all of Spirit. 4 dead heroes on Spirit from that engagement now. Just constant pressure from Alliance. They are just overwhelming Spirit constantly.
Yeah, just racking up the kills and racking up the net worth. They now have 3 heroes on top of Team Spirit's leader of the Tiny. He's trying to go for a blink as well. So he's like 1,000 gold off of anything really useful in terms of income. So it's just right now, Alliance have exactly what they want. They have plenty of time to build up this Midas advantage for Koikva. He'll have Maelstrom soon and be able to build into some of these amazing items that can be taken advantage of by the Tempest double. Yeah,
it's great item build, very standard, especially with as many disables as they have right now between like Tusk's diving and CK having so many points in stun to just disable enemies. They're actually just going to be able to create space while Koikva sits in back and just pings away, dropping the laning. So it's a pretty scary moment here for Spirit. Pressure's continuing though. Mid-tier 1 tower is being punched. The Mirana ulti being used as the supports invade the enemy jungle. They're looking for a possible Terrorblade kill. And that's the hero they know is going to be jungling over here. He doesn't really have a lot of space to farm though. I mean, there's almost every part of the map is constantly being pressured. In fact, they're diving now, going under tower. Stun is used. He actually does not have Sunder. Level 6. Not too abnormal for him. I do not blame him for that one. Needed to catch up and farm. And most of the time, Sunder's not really going to make that big of a difference when he gets dove that hard anyways. Here comes a toss. Oh, the Terrace actually misses here. Mistake there. Miscoordination between the Tiny and very likely killed. Man, this guy just doesn't miss his arrows here. And very likely Tiny death. And that's the toughest thing for the Tiny too. He's trying to rush this blink. He doesn't even have treads yet.
Very difficult position. He's just losing every bit of gold that he gains. He pretty much takes 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and Alliance are just crushing it here. But some pressure coming in on the Arc Warden here. Going in, FNG with the ultimate, and 9 with the flank should be enough to bring him down. Yes, they will take the Arc Warden, and that is a big kill.
It is, yeah. Monster kill being, I think, if my Russian is accurate, which is not. It is not, but nice kill. Good pickup, raindrops, definitely making things hard. In the meantime, CK actually getting a little bit lucky in his ultimate there, gets an extra illusion, and he's just going to all bracers. He's just like, all right, this is my goal. My goal is to just fight constantly early game. It is not about Man, I think that's a lot of times the mistake I make on CK. Is I think like, oh, I need HP regen, I need mana regen. He just runs at his opponents. If he dies, he dies. He comes back and he fights again. And there's just not that many heroes that can deal with him right now. And with all these bracers, he's got all these efficient stats, instantly jumping in, instantly killing Biver. Biver not able to escape there. Another Alliance player having trouble with Bramble Maze. But with all these bracers, he's 2,000 HP already, and he doesn't even have a health talent.
Yeah.
It is incredible how survivable this guy is already.
Yeah, and he loses hit insanely hard. It's just like he could go for armlet. He obviously is building out the drum. Like he is just a beefcake right now. But we do see a fight coming out in the jungle here. The Supernova does come out. Are they going to try to focus it with the Fire Spirits on Estrojo? He attacks so slowly, and he gets the explosion coming in. Now we see Boxy just cleaning house.
I don't even think he had Fire Spirits on those guys. That was just their normal attack speed. I'm pretty sure.
I think the Tiny was afflicted at least, but yeah, these guys, they they take about an hour and a half just to make a swing. It's really quite depressing when you're going up against a level 1 Supernova and there's no way that you can actually focus it.
That was it was pretty pathetic. All right, CK has finished his drum now. Man, they're just in such a good position. Phoenix going for a Veil of Discord, very good item to amplify your and your allies' magic damage. Standard build for Mirana. Tusk is Tranquil's Urn. And on the Spirit side, Lina is scrounging to try to finish her Eul's Scepter. It's going to be very useful when she does finish it. She can dispel things like Flux. She can dodge the CK stun. In fact, she may need to do that shortly in the future.
For now, things seem pretty complacent, at least for the moment. The only one really aggressive right now is the Chaos Knight, Boxy.
Russian observers! They're literally pinging. Okay, thank you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so he does get a 4-second stun. I don't think that Treant Armor is going to help him too much, but that next Light Strike Array might. Goes for the Overgrowth here. Gets hit up by the Tusk, dropping very, very low, and the last hit will come through. Once again, the killing spree for Boxy here, and it just feels like nowhere is safe for Team Spirit.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of the previous game. Just constantly getting stuff done. Another stun on FNG here. Living Armor actually very impactful for keeping them alive. I mean, he doesn't have that many damage items here. He's hitting for about 130, which is definitely a lot. But every single damage block there is removing 80 of that. So a big majority of the DPS being done, but they're just pressuring everywhere. Constantly diving. 11k gold advantage at 15 minutes is insane.
Yeah, they're doing very well for themselves, that's for sure. Oh, they're actually going to be trying to pursue onto Skitter here. They are going to be able to get the snowball through, but it's not going to connect directly.
He's so close to Sunderman, actually. He's tread switches. He goes to Int.
Oh, could he actually get this off cooldown, turn it around? He gets caught up by the Ice Shards. It looks like just too late. 199 out of 200. A day late and a dollar short.
That was so close, actually. CK now sitting top lane. He's going to go Atos. I was wondering if he'd do that when he had the triple bracer, because it's like, well, what else are you going to turn three braces into? It increases his mana pool by a lot, but it also gives him a decent amount of strength. It's not like a terrible item. Stat-wise, very efficient item, right? Usually you just don't want the active, but I think this game is okay. 20 int on CK means he's going to be able to cast his stuns a lot more often, and it's going to make his mana regen from the drum even better by having a bigger mana pool. So I don't think it's terrible. Just going to pressure the map. That's apparently the way to play CK now.
Yeah, I mean, he's like almost unkillable in a lot of the sense of like, you look at how much damage Team Spirit can put out. Unless they have like 3 heroes committed to him, they're not accomplishing really anything. Just pressuring bottom lane for the moment, and we'll look to see a rotation up top. It looks like the tier 2 is going to go down for free down bottom, and Spirit will look to make something happen up above.
Yeah, just pressuring top a little bit. Does get reflected here. Pops a drum charge to run away. Trying to play things
In the meantime, it does look like Tusk is in some trouble here, dropping very low. It will just fall. But they...
Who the F is observing? I literally heard a Laguna Blade. That is like hey guys, I think a hero is dying moment. Personally, I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine.
Same pin.
They commit. It looks like Dark Willow and Lina's ultis. Now Dark Willow will be dropping down to the Phoenix himself.
He does slow the tower death, though, with his Curse Crown usage.
There you go.
It's a great skill usage there. Another tier 2 tower falls. 15k gold advantage now. T-Spirit is having a rough one. This is just an absolute stomp, man. And very different heroes. I mean, they still have a Mirana, but that's the only hero that matches here.
Yeah.
Boxy taking a combo, doesn't matter. Half HP still, he's fine. He's got an Atos.
And they're really going for like this kind of snowballing item build-up. You see that like 2 Maelstroms out, one on the Mirana, one on the Arc Warden. The Veil of Discord is going to enhance the magic damage from all that flying out. So even though they don't have a lot of heavy spellcasters, they're still able to make a lot of damage come out just from the auto attacks there. And on top of that, even the Bracers were used efficiently, turning into a Rod of Atos for the Chaos Knight. So he's able to just continue to build all these stat-dependent items and just look for picks.
Yeah, super efficiently, right? They're just constantly getting stronger. Look at the rabbit kill here on the lane. If the Observer could move his camera slightly, I'm pretty sure he's on auto lock because he's busy doing something else right now. But Boxy likely to die. Oh, he actually Chaos Knight ultis off the stun.
Is it enough?
It looks like he's going to die to the urn, though. Surely. He's getting very, very low.
He might survive this. 20 ticks down. One last tick will do it.
They do pick up the Tiny, though. Looking for Dark Willow as well. She has Shadow Realm. Can buy some time here. Maybe can kill Quakeva. If 3 heroes stop playing and she gets it. No, okay.
Yeah, just not a chance in hell here. The Phoenix got him covered with the Sunray there, and they have lost now 4 out of 5. Terrorblade not in a position to solo defend as they are going to be pressured heavily on this bottom tier 3.
Man, this is just like, I don't know if they've experienced this kind of like CK pressure before, but this is certainly very interesting for me to watch. Dare I say revolutionary. I'm sure other people have done it that I just haven't caught before, but it's cool to see the same mentality of the constantly going to lane thing, but also just see how well it's been transitioning and pressuring. No regen items, just a little different.
They're going to get Hesta Joe here. Good pressure on the Tiny, but he has the Shrine as well as the Living Armor will be held up. And that's actually Dark Willow's Bedlam coming out, just trying to ward off any aggression.
It's a low cooldown, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to kill the Phoenix here. He's got almost a full pipe on the way, 19 minutes after his Veil. Very, very farm support. 11, 1, and 11 on this little bird here. Man, he's just been owning both games, I must say. He was the AA last game. This is their kind of their 5 position, more or less, actually, and he's this farmed. It's actually disgusting. It's actually disgusting how farmed he is.
It is pretty ridiculous. We now have 5 heroes of the Radiant side on top of net worth here. Everybody has surpassed the Terrorblade at this point. Is there any road back for this team?
Well, if Tusk gets confident and buys multiple Battle Furies...
How many Battle Furies are we talking?
As many as you want, dude. Get that increase, make your cleave better.
You said backpack Battle Furies at this point?
Yeah, sure, 9, whatever. I mean, he's on the right net worth trajectory for this one. Trying to do some Quakeva damage. He has done some Quakeva damage, and he's like, okay, well, I'll see you later, man. I've only got a Yasha and a Treads. And that guy's got a full Mjolnir, and a Midas, and an Aquila, and a Treads of his own, or BOTs, actually. He is so farmed, actually, on the Arc Ward. It's incredible.
Yeah, so. And they're trying to make plays up top here, but this doesn't really feel like the place they want to be fighting at this point in time. Look, Lina is going to get pincered in here and just completely isolated. There's no hope for her. She drops down to the tree on the other side. What are they doing here? I mean, I know they want to try to get some pressure out on the map, but...
They have to get a kill somewhere, and Lina is probably the best way to do it, right? Like, TB can't do shit right now. He cannot participate in these fights. He'd have to commit meta, he'd have to get a bunch of illusions, and so many heroes on the enemy team are really threatening to him. So they need damage heroes with gank. Lina is their most obvious because she's all bursty and she has decent levels. It's like that or Tiny have to be there at these ganks. And Tiny is moving around. He's got his Blink Dagger, and he does do a lot of damage, but Lina is maybe the safer, arguably. It's just they're just reacting well to some of these ganks, and almost everybody on lines is almost impossible to kill. Phoenix is literally unkillable by 2 heroes. CK, 2,800 HP. Tusk has 1,600, but he's got Snowball, he's got a Blink Dagger. They do not have a lot of good kill options. The squishiest hero is Mirana. She's got 1,100, but now she's got an Aegis, so
yeah,
it's very tough here for Spirit to be able to gain some ground.
Yeah, immortality, to be sure. And at this point, it's just so clean and easy for them. They get those 2 kills, they immediately translate into Roshan, who's right next door to that top lane, and it doesn't really seem like Spirit can do too much. I mean, they pressure the tier 1 bottom, they even get some good chip damage on the tier 2. That should drop the next time they pressure it, but theoretically, when is Alliance going to allow that to happen?
I mean, only when they're taking some other advantage, like split pushing a different lane or something like that. Basically only limited by Mirana's mana pool at this point. But yeah, especially with Arc Warden having Boots of Travel, it's very likely that we're going to see almost every lane consistently pushed out from here on out. Very hard for Spirit to get past that. But they are trying to grab some map control here. Lots of observer wards slightly outside their base, watching for Alliance heroes. Lots of sentries as well to try to commit. A team fight about to start. Our observer getting there just in time. Medallion being used, FNG likely dead here.
Yeah, I should say so. At this point, the Treant does not really have any hope, but the Lumberjacks are coming. All the same, I think just Alliance are right now just kind of playing with their food a little bit. They're making sure they have full map control. They're kind of getting everything they need. They got the Aegis, they got a bunch of wards down, they've got one pickoff, they're going for mid.
Yep, any pickoffs extra are going to be useful here. Throws Terrace actually does catch everybody. He's going to buy them enough time to get the Treant Protector back up at least. There's no glyph, not for 30 seconds. If they can get the armor on the tower while glyphing it, this could buy them an extra 15 seconds. But
yeah, watch Phoenix's positioning right here. He's got the level 2 ultimate, goes in right in the front and center. Supernova does come out. They've already got a stun combo to bring down the Tiny. Now the Lina, the big heavy hitters are down for the count. Terrorblade is not going to be able to defend this by himself. He's just going to keep split pushing. They pop the glyph on the Radiant side, and that means Tier 3 is going to be protected while the mid racks fall.
Considering Spirit's position, what's going on with TB right now looks like by far a good solution.
Yeah, if he can get away with it. But right now, we see on the cam that he is actually dueling it out with Tusk. Might actually be able to get a kill on him as well. And where the TP's back.
Got him. Okay. This was actually a good outcome for Spirit, in my opinion. He's going to die now, probably. This is probably the wrong time to pull the camera away. Okay.
Is able to slip away.
The Manta pickup was pretty useful. He used it against the Tusk. 1 Ice Shards killed the illusions, but yeah, able to pick him off using Metamorphosis. So that was all right.
Yeah.
Considering the circumstance they're in. Losing to mid-racks. They did almost no damage to the Tier 3, but got that glyph and got a kill. And that guy was like almost as farmed as he was anyway, so you got a lot of gold out of that kill.
Yeah, so in that context, it's like, yeah, we're 24 minutes in. It's just atrocious to be losing mid-racks at this point. But considering the state of the game, Spirit don't really have a choice. They have to kind of take what they can wherever they can. Having lost the tree, fighting into Aegis, and just stronger heroes in terms of items and levels, they make the most of it, and they do put some pressure on a bottom. But back to your point about the Arc Warden, he's got Mjolnir, Blink BOTs. Like, he's going to be able to make sure that this is not something that happens again.
In most cases, yes. He's going to have to be busy with a push or something like that instead for this to likely go down. So very, very hard thing. FNG does get spotted. Sentry gets put down. Sentry gets dewarded. Observer, they get an Observer with it as well. A little unfortunate there for them. Chaos Knight queuing up a heart now. He's got the Reaver past his Rod of Atos. 3,500 HP on him. Picked up the 15 strength talent as well as the 20 movement speed level 10. So very fast, very capable, very hard to kill, especially for Lina. This guy's tanky.
Yeah, and now the real Arc Warden's actually sitting back at home for now, but brings in the Tempest double and just going to put big pressure onto this tower. The glyph, the shield comes out, but they're going to be able to break this down in no time at all. Spirit have to do something.
Yeah, this is the right way for Alliance to play. They don't really need the main Arc Warden here. They just need to, amplify the push a little bit and then use this Mjolnir to make sure that the TB doesn't get a free Rax on the bot lane. And then they get a 2 Rax advantage. Taking a 1-for-1 at this point would not be good with their advantage. So this is looking pretty solid for Alliance.
Terrorblade staying bottom, but this Tier 3 up top shall fall. And it opens up a second lane of Rax, which is pretty much the game.
It's not over yet. Come on, man. Not supposed to. All right, they're 27k up. It's huge. It's massive. But they can always throw. You never know. Okay,
Terrorblade has come back. He's got to commit for the fight here. Metamorphosis is available, but where is the commit? Oh, nice. Jump in from here. The Sphere will come out. Hesta Joe tries to get some damage in, but Tusk just goes in deep. Is there going to be a Sunder? He's able to get it off, and the Tusk will fall.
They got a kill. And now Skitter's got to run for his life, though. The egg's blown up, trying to finish off the Ice Shard here, but Lina's going to die again.
I think that's the Aegis Reclamation, so now they can actually commit to this fight in full. Skitter's got the Metamorphosis going, but he is going to be pulled back in by the Chaos Knight, and that is going to be the death of the Terrorblade. Comes back in, buybacks without Metamorphosis.
I mean, that's all he can do right now, right? There's so many dead heroes that they can actually, they're just going to call it a good game. I didn't see who started it on the Dire team, but it has been, they called a good game a while ago. The game is very over, and such an advantage. Man, this was a super convincing 2-0 stomp by Alliance, which is not too surprising, I guess, in some ways. Spirit is largely a new team here, and on the Alliance side, very experienced players. They've been playing together, at least a lot of these guys, for a while, so I am not surprised to see that their coordination is already so good, and I also like that they're stepping slightly outside of the meta, but still pulling the meta together. And again, their coordination has been so good. And just man, the laning domination between CK and the Phoenix was incredible that game. I was really impressed. It genuinely makes me want to play CK now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I expected some action from like the Tusk and the Mirana when maybe the rotations came through, but just the sheer domination. You could just see that there was like nothing that the Terrorblade could do, nothing that the Treant Protector could really do to salvage that situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like some adjustments they could make. For example, like moving Biver top. Obviously screws over their off lane, but gives their Terrorblade a fighting chance. Do you think that there's a way to react to that a little bit better?
Maybe swapping their lanes could be a possibility, perhaps, but I'm really not sure. No matter what happens, I feel like their laning condition was like, are we level 1? Yes. Okay. Cast spells on the Terrorblade, and that was their circle. Every single chance they got, cast spells on the Terrorblade, lower his health, burn him out of regen constantly. They just got so much advantage. Maybe. And then because of that, he burned his salve. So then he's low HP for the first like wave or two. It probably got all denied. It's probably stuff like that. Like if he hadn't burned his salve for one right click, that he gets full HP, then he gets back into the lane, and then he gets level 2 at a reasonable time. But instead, like they got like worst case situation where he's at low HP, has to regen up, where he just lost the first like 2 waves, and then CK has this massive advantage picking up level 2, and then just kept stunning, kept fire spiriting. Lane is kind of lost there. But
it's interesting because like Chaos Knight felt like he was actually set back a couple of times. There were a couple early kills on him. He had to walk back one time, so he wasn't as high of a level as he could have been when those real clashes started coming out. It really feels like just Insania's Phoenix just is really pronounced in terms of just the potential harassment and just the kill potential.
It's mostly that it doesn't matter if you die once or twice as a core. If you're also getting all the last hits and denies, it's not a big deal because he's getting all the last hits and denies. He's spending that gold probably before he's dying. And he's also killing enemy heroes. So dying once in a while to refill your mana and your HP, completely fine if you spend that money on HP and stat items like he did, because then he doesn't have to worry about regen. The fountain is his regen. His death is not that costly. So definitely abusing the current game meta in a really good way and securing himself a lot of good kills. So impressive play from Alliance with that 2-0.
Absolutely, and that is just the first match here for WePlay's Reshuffle Madness, brought to you by WePlay and ESBet. We're going to be going to a quick break before we jump into the second match. It's going to be Furzy versus Navi. They're going to be brought to you by Purge, and none other than Capitalist is on his way over here. So we'll have to just shake off some very early day one jitters and get into it.